The What If Naruto characters or Pokemon video did so well that I think we have to revisit the idea with even more cool Pokemon designs. And if this is your first time here, well, welcome. On this channel, we like to take popular anime characters and cartoons and see how they would look like if they were in fact Pokemon. And well, thanks to the artist thepanio, we have just that with some of his newer design concepts. Which means today we'll be going over some more amazing Pokemon lines based off of some legendary characters from the region based on the Hidden Leaf Village itself. And speaking of region, how about we start off the video with a regional variant, this little guy. Introducing Kohonian Tyrogue, the fighting type disciplined Pokemon. A Pokemon based on the fan favorite Rock Lee himself, one of my favorite characters at the very least. This Pokemon is an extremely common Pokemon in the starting town of this Naruto-based Pokemon region, and is often a training partner to many new trainers in the region. And because of this and its relentless spirit, it's often celebrated as a terrific starter Pokemon. Now, if you haven't checked out the other video yet, that's actually where we revealed the true 3 starters of the region. And because of that, this here regional Tyrogue is more of a starter for those who begin their ninja/trainer journeys outside of the starting town. Now with that, we've got to check out this unique Pokemon's branch-chained evolution, and man is it a good one. The first evolution we get access to is if your Tyrogue is confused in battle after reaching level 20. If so, it'll evolve into Hitmonlee, the fighting poison type drunken kicker Pokemon based on the Drunken Fist episode. Now this evolution also picks up some new abilities like Limber and Poison Touch, but the most impressive part of this Pokemon is its stat distribution. I mean, would you just look at it, making it insanely fast and dangerously offensive. On top of this, Hitmonlee's movements are often unpredictable, making it extremely difficult for opponents in battle. But that's not all. Their legs secrete a toxic substance that is often used to weaken foes with each kick, causing a drunk-like effect. Definitely a spectacular concept for a spectacular character, don't you think? But now let's check out the other evolution which your Tyrogue can achieve. If you reach maximum happiness and level up during the daytime, you'll evolve into Hitmonlee, the fighting fairy type gated Pokemon. Based on the 8 gates transformation itself, this one symbolizes the final gate. It is also the one evolution that is way more difficult to acquire. However, if your Pokemon does evolve into this form, then its abilities also get an upgrade, with competitive and serene grace. But that's not all. Its stats make it one of the fastest special attacking fighting type Pokemon in the entire region. Some even say it's as strong as this region's legendary Pokemon, which, you know what? Let's check them out next. Introducing Sakura, the ghost psychic type phantom Pokemon, based on none other than Madara Uchiha himself. More specifically, his 10-tailed beast's form, which is why this Pokemon is considered the strongest legendary Pokemon in the entire region. Its goal is to harness the life force of all Pokemon in the region with its ghostly orbs, and then convert that energy into the form of a seed that it wants to replant and grow. Into what? No one really knows, because not much else is known about this seed or what the consequences the world will suffer if this Pokemon is left to their own devices. And because of this, the Anti-Sakura League has been established and is the main goal of all trainers within this region, to get strong enough to protect the region from this single threat. However, there might actually be more than meets the eye with this one. For example, Sakura aren't looking to harness the energy of all Pokemon, but instead only a chosen few, such as the next Pokemon we're taking a look at today, and that's this little cutie. Meet Ganuki, the ground dark sandy type Pokemon, based on Gaara himself. Now, this Pokemon symbolizes one of many lines that are being hunted by the legendary Sakura, but not much else is known why. I mean, we obviously know why, right? Because it's based off the Jinchuriki, but as for the region and its organizations, they aren't blessed with that knowledge just yet. Anyway, this Pokemon form often spends its days burying in desert sands where it absorbs energy from the underground sources, which it then can convert into raw energy. However, this is only the first stage of this Pokemon line, and Ganuki here can evolve once they learn the move Sandstorm at level 22, and that's when they turn into Garand, the the ground dark type desert Pokemon. With the abilities Sandveil and Sandvorce, this Pokemon is one that is a master of the desert. Along with its defensive stats, makes it quite the difficult Pokemon to capture, let alone battle. And its unique typing also makes it quite difficult to take on fully. But again, it's only the second stage of this epic Pokemon line, because once your Garand learns the move Sand Tomb at level 38, it'll evolve into the mystical Dunal, the ground dark type sand beast Pokemon, based on the legendary Jinchuriki that resides within Gaara himself in the anime. Now, this Pokemon may not be fast, but who needs speed when you could literally one-hit almost anything that comes your way with moves like Earthquake and even Night Slash? Definitely a Pokemon I would love to have on my team if it weren't for its extremely difficult catch rate. Which brings us to the final Pokemon in today's video, your teacher aka Master's own signature Pokemon. Meet Haunishi, the electric type pack Pokemon based on the legendary Kakashi himself. Now, this Pokemon is the only one of its kind in the whole region, and the only way you can obtain it is by your teacher gifting it to you once you prove your worth. But why even pursue such a Pokemon? I mean, its stats are kinda mediocre, and the typing is a little bland if we're being honest. So I guess it has to do with its amazing competitive ability known as Pack Call. You see, this Pokemon has a second form, which it could only access if it is the final Pokemon left on your team, similar to King Gambit's Overlord ability with its activation. Now, if the rest of your Pokemon are KO'd and you bring out your Haunishi, it will then enter its summon form where it becomes an electric psychic type with boosted stats. But that's not all, because after each of your Pokemon's attacks, it will attack a second time with a random move from one of its fallen teammates, making it one of the most sought after RNG-based competitive Pokemon that was ever created. But what do you guys think? Personally, I'd probably pick up the regional Tyrogue because that is such a cool Pokemon, and it's based off of one of my favorite characters, Rock Lee. Now, who would I evolve it into? Honestly, I'd probably pick up both, because Hitmonlee is just so funny looking and its stats are pretty amazing, but then Hitmoneck is just chef's kiss in terms of design, and that shiny, top tier. But then let's go back to that legendary Pokemon. Should that be a Pokemon that's actually catchable in this region? I mean, how would it work? Let me know in the comments how we can make that work in this what if Naruto based region. But personally, I don't think it should be catchable unless you can show up with your Haunishi picked up from your master. I feel like that's a pretty good indicator that you're ready to take on the legendary. Speaking of legendary, let's go back to the Jinchuriki. Definitely need that on my team. Ganuki is just so adorable, and the final form, Dunal, amazing. And honestly, if there's a third part to this series, who knows? We might even do the rest of the Jinchurikis. You guys let me know if you'd be interested in that. Is this a Pokemon you want on your team? Let me know in the comments down below who you're putting on your team. And if you missed the first video of this series, well then check it out here or any of the following. Trust me, you'll be glad you did.